everybody.
Hi everybody.
פרשת מקץ. ויהי מקץ 2 ימים ופרעה חולם.
And it came to pass at the end of 2 full years. 2 full years, the way that the Torah highlights that is because we know from last parasha that Yosef had a crisis of emunah, of belief, in jail. And he told the minister of beverage twice, don't forget me. And that cost him 2 more years in jail. And that's why the Torah highlights here, it was completely the end of 2 full years. And bang, Paro, the king of Egypt, has a weird dream. He has a dream, number 1, all of a sudden he sees 7 healthy, beautiful cows coming up from the Niles. All of a sudden, after those 7 healthy, beautiful looking cows, he sees 7 very, very skinny, sick looking cows. And he sees that those skinny cows are swallowing the fat, healthy cows. And not only that, they look like they didn't even eat. And he wakes up afraid, and like he woke up from his dream. And then he falls asleep again. And then all of a sudden he sees 7 ears of grain that are again beautiful, healthy, filled with grains. And all of a sudden he sees 7 bad, very thin ears of grains, and they are swallowing the healthy ones. And again, they look like they're not even getting better. And Paro now is afraid and is asking all of his advisors. Their name in the Torah is Chartumim. And nobody knows to help him and to tell him what those dreams mean. And we know that in the big picture, these dreams, the reason they didn't know what to tell him was because Hashem sent those dreams in Yosef's language, right? If you remember, Yosef has a dream with bundles of wheat. Here we have ears of grain, bundles. Something here is meant for someone else to come and solve it. And immediately then, the minister of beverage remembers, oh my gosh, I have sinned. I went out and I didn't think about the person that helped me, that solved my dream. I left him there. I didn't appreciate it. And that moment he tells Paro about that special Hebrew boy, Yosef. And like that, the whole situation of Yosef is changing. Yosef is being brought out of jail. They shave him, they clean him, they put a beautiful gown on him, and they bring him to meet Paro. Now, Paro is asking Yosef to solve his dreams. And Yosef says, Biladai Elohim ya'aneh et shlom Paro. The answer that Yosef is giving, before he starts even telling Paro what he sees, is Biladai, means without me, Hashem will answer the welfare of Paro. Is this the same Yosef? This is Yosef that in the beginning went to tell his brothers about his dream, that they're all bowing to him. Didn't even think if he should, tell them or not. He knew they're jealous. He said that the star and the moon are going to bow to him, even next to his father. Now the same Yosef is saying something different. It's not me. It's God. Hashem is the one that will tell through me what Paro needs to know. And then he explains to Paro, those 2 dreams are actually one dream. And the 7 healthy cows represent 7 good years. The 7 bundles of wheat, they are the same, 7 good years. that after them, they're going to come famine, and there's going to be 7 bad years of hunger and famine that will be so bad that you won't even remember the good, healthy, rich years. And Yosef tells Paro, if you really want to save everybody, I recommend for you, and he gives him a business plan. He tells him you should build cities that their purpose will be to keep everything, all the grains, flour, everything that we need, to have one, huge storage in each city, and there you'll save all that you need for 7 more years later and more. And Paro is fascinated. Paro says, have you ever seen a man on earth that has the Spirit of God in him like Yosef? And as I said, at that moment, everything changes. But I want Noam to tell you what the Midrash says about that special moment.
You need to understand one thing about Paro's palace. It was a magical place filled with black magic. Inside Paro's palace, you had a place that had stairs, 70 stairs. On the top, Paro was sitting. On the bottom, a person that would come to talk to Paro would talk to him. And if Paro wanted to test this person, he would talk to him in a certain language. And if this man would answer back in the same language, he would be able to go to the next step, all the way until when he gets stuck. Now, the night before Yosef comes to Paro, Yosef is still in jail. And the angel Gabriel comes to Yosef and teach him all the 70 languages and give him protection against black magic. When Yosef comes to Paro and talk to him, he's able to climb up all the 70 steps. And then he speaks to Paro in a language that Paro does not understand. And that language is the holy language, Hebrew. And according to the law of Egypt, whoever speaks the most languages should be the king. And Yosef becomes the king. Paro makes him the king, and he gives him the royal ring and tells him that only the throne is above him. Now Yosef could have become the king of Egypt and take Paro's place, but he's very humble, and he lets Paro keep his place.
When Yosef becomes in charge, he also marries a woman named Osnat. Osnat has a remarkable life story, just like Yosef. Osnat was the daughter of Dinah. Dinah was the daughter of Leah and Yaakov. A few parashot ago, Dinah was raped by the son of the ruler of the city of Shechem. And from that relations, a baby was born, and that was Osnat. Now, in a very, very special, magical way, Osnat has been taken to Egypt. And she was raised by no other than Potiphar and his wife. They adopted her. Now, if you remember that last parasha, Potiphar's wife really wanted to take Yosef. Now, this was not just a beautiful woman, and he was a beautiful man, and, temptations. She was also a witch. And she saw in the stars that she's going to have a child from Yosef. Now, because she was controlling the black magic and not the light, she didn't see that it's actually going to skip a generation. So she saw something right, but it wasn't meant for her. So what happened is that when Yosef becomes a ruler, he goes with his chariot all over the streets of Egypt. And the women that sees him are fainting. He's so gorgeous. And they throw flowers at him and jewels and beautiful things. And when Osnat sees him, she comes, and she had something special. She had a special necklace on her neck from the day she was born that had the sacred name of Hashem. That was given to her by Yaakov. And when she sees Yosef, she takes that special necklace and she throws it at him. And when he picks it up, he sees that this is not an Egyptian woman. This is a woman from the house of his father. And he knows that that's the sign. And he takes Osnat and they get married.
The 7 good years are gone, and the 7 bad years have started. Yaakov is sending his sons to Egypt to get food. The sons go to Yosef. Yosef recognizes them right away, and they don't recognize him. Yosef starts to investigate them and ask them if they are spies, and of course the brothers are denying that. The brothers are telling him that they have another brother, Binyamin. And Yosef tells them that they need to bring their brother back to Egypt when they come back. Yosef takes Shimon, one of the brothers, to captivity and puts him in the palace. The brothers are leaving and going to Canaan. On the way, they discover that the money that they used to purchase the food is back with them inside their bags. They go to Yaakov and tell him everything that happened. They tell him that Binyamin needs to come with them back to Egypt. Yaakov, of course, does not agree. And eventually, Yehuda and Reuven are able to convince him to send Binyamin with them to Egypt. They go with Binyamin, and Yosef asks the brothers, how is their father doing and if he's still alive? And the brothers are telling him that yes, he is. Now I want to ask you, is Yosef being driven by revenge? Is Yosef playing with them? Is it right now Yosef's big moment of payback to the brother? What, he doesn't care of his father? I don't understand that. Even the Midrash said that he was putting guards all over just to tell him when the brothers are coming back to Egypt, to bring them to him. Yosef, during all this time, wants to keep himself pure. He didn't take Pa'o his place. He didn't take the wife of Potiphar. He was taking care of all the people of Egypt. And he does not want to give up to negativity. So what does he do? Something seems not right. Yosef wants to test his brothers. He wants to see that they're good, that they regret for what they did. He wants to test them. And he's checking their self-control. And Yosef has the ability, and he takes the full responsibility. He never tried to take anything that does not belong to him. He's checking the brothers. And Yosef continues with the plan. Yosef gives them food, he gives them drinks, and they go away. Yosef is putting his wine cup inside Binyamin's bag. The brothers are leaving. Yosef is sending the guards to capture the brothers. When the brothers are being captured, Yosef is saying that whoever took the cup from him will stay as a slave in Egypt. The cup is being found in Binyamin's bag.
So our parasha is kind of stopped here. And in order to know what really happened later, was testing successful or not, we're going to have to wait till the next parasha. But one of the biggest gifts that this parasha is giving us is the power of self-control. To look at Yosef as a role model, that no matter where he was, he stayed clean and honest. And we're talking black magic all around you. These people were very, very negative. And they stick to his belief. He was alone. He stayed pure, humble. He wanted to marry a wife from his own, people. He always kept everything so beautiful. He was about to commit a sin with Potiphar's wife long before. He practiced self-control and appreciation, of course, no matter where, even if he's a slave. So the self-control is something that Yosef is giving us in this parasha, in this week. This is the gift. And by hearing the Torah on Shabbat morning, we can get that part among other beautiful gifts from this parasha. All the best.
All the best.